Alright, so the next thing, the component that we need is a battery. Okay? So a battery in a schematic is either it has many cells or just one cell. So a cell would be cell, okay, 2 cell, but a 9 volts 2 cell too. Okay, so a 9 volt does have a 2 cell in it. So here's 1 cell, 2 cells, but a 9 volt and a 2 AA's can look the same way on a schematic. And certainly there is, it goes on, it can go on forever. So, for example, here's a single cell battery. Okay, so we have a line, large line, okay, that's going to be my positive, and it's going to run into a negative, and then end out. So this is my negative. So that's a single cell battery. Okay, what about a double cell battery? So this is labeled 1 cell. Again, you should be making notes like this. Take the notes from this, and that way you start memorizing it. So a double cell battery, it kind of looks like this. So you got the positive, boom, but instead of it ending, there's another one. Okay, and then a little one, and then it ends. So you can kind of think of it as like this one's my positive too, if you need to kind of label them, but don't label them in schematic like that. People know what that is. So positive is the longer end, positive, little negative. So you know how you put a battery up against another battery like this. That's essentially what that is saying in schematic form. And just for fun, boom, 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 boom. What's that one? So this one's 1, 2, 3. That's a 3 cell battery. So 3 AA's in that case. So yeah, that's pretty much what you have to know about batteries. But remember, a 9 volt can look like a 3 volt. So, and each battery is 1.5 volt, sort of, except for the rechargeable ones. They run a little bit less. So in this case, it's like 1.5 volt, 3 volt, 4.5? Yeah. Yeah. Like that. So it keeps going up. They can look ridiculous if there's a 12 volt all double A's though. It's ridiculous looking. So there we go. That's what a battery looks like in a schematic. Alright, so batteries, they look like this. If you look at them real close, so written onto this battery, it says 1.2 volts, 2500 milliamps. And the H stands for hours. Okay. And then I got another one. So this one's a rechargeable 9 volt. And this one's, it says 8.4 at 200 milliamp hours. So whenever you're dealing with like rechargeable batteries, for example, they are nice that, you know, like when you get done with them, you can just recharge them. But you'll notice that like this is a 9-volt battery, but it's really 8.4. And this one is usually a 1.5 volt battery, but since it's rechargeable, it's a 1.2 volt. So another thing why I like rechargeable batteries for beginning students is they're very forgiving. They last a really long time. And let's say you were to use them to power something. They last longer. Two, they don't burn things out as easy as a regular battery. So if you are to go down the route of doing electronics and you want to use batteries, I would highly suggest switching to rechargeable batteries just for a little bit, because the calculation's a little bit different on them and it teaches you, and it's kind of like safer on your electronics a little bit. Just my humble opinion, mind you, but I do like the rechargeable batteries. And that's how you read to see what their voltage and their milliamp hours are. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to stay that way though, because when a battery drains, we know that both drop. Okay? So in the case that we have, let's say, a pack of batteries, like let's say a pack of them like this, and it had 4 batteries in it, and let's say one of these were about to die. Okay? That doesn't mean it shuts down. It just means that it's not going to be the same voltage, right? It's going to slowly run out of power and go to 0. So if we use this with electronics, we would have to know what the voltage is when we first start. And it makes for some really good calculations. And these are nice because they have the little on-off on them, like that. So very good starter for students. I think I had you get one of these for the course. So this is a 3. And the reason I had you get a 3 is because the 3, it would be really hard to blow out an LED. But now that I think about it, sometimes it's really nice to have a lot of power. So I did have you get this breadboard power supply too. So we're going to be using, you know, batteries and breadboard power supplies, and if you wanted to go get a 9-volt, you could, but I would start out with one of these first. Okay? Because a 9-volt can blow out LEDs if you don't do the resistor just right. But what I wanted to show you this because, you know, when we're looking at cell batteries like this, this calculation is going to be different for a rechargeable set of batteries versus a non-rechargeable set of batteries. Okay? Just wanted to point that out before we go on.